In today's video, we're talking GarageKeepers coverage. If you have a garage and you already have insurance, more than likely you have this coverage in place already. But what I recommend doing is taking a look at your policy and making sure this coverage is included within your insurance program. So basically, in a nutshell, GarageKeepers coverage is there to protect your client's vehicles when they're in your care, custody, or control. So if they leave their vehicle with you for a few nights, or even one night, or even during the day, as long as they're in your possession, you're liable for their vehicle if it gets damaged, stolen, or anything else. So this GarageKeepers coverage is there to protect the client's car in case something happens to it. Now, don't get this confused with garage liability insurance because that is very different, and we'll get into garage liability coverage in another video. However, the GarageKeepers coverage is a little bit different. This will usually exclude the faulty workmanship and so on. That's going to be within the garage liability coverage. Now, so the GarageKeepers is purely going to cover your client's vehicles at the time that you're repairing them or working on them. Usually GarageKeepers coverage will also exclude personal property in your customers' vehicles. So if they have stuff in the glove box, under the seat, and of anything of value, usually that coverage is not going to cover the property within the vehicle. But on a good note, there is an endorsement you can add to that policy that can cover personal property of your clients. So if there's anything in the car, you can get coverage to cover those items in case something is stolen out of the vehicle. But usually on an average policy, it's not going to cover the personal property of your customer stuff inside their car. So GarageKeepers is very important to have when having a garage, whether you're doing paint work, body work, doesn't matter what type of work you're doing. If a customer is dropping off their vehicle to you, you want to make sure this coverage is in place. So yes, this coverage is in place to protect your client's vehicles. However, you want to make sure as a shop that you're doing everything you can to prevent your customers' vehicles from getting damaged, stolen, or anything else. Because really, yes, you're going to have the coverage, but you want to have the reputation to make sure that they know that their vehicle's gonna be safe in your custody. Now, when it comes to pricing GarageKeepers coverage, it really varies from shop to shop. Really what they look at is how many vehicles you're storing at one particular time, or the max at one time. Usually you'll get asked, what is the most expensive car that you work on? Or how many vehicles do you work on at one time? Or how many vehicles do you have stored at one time? So if you say, well, I have no more than 5 vehicles at one time, and each vehicle is maybe $50,000, you want to do the math to see, because they are thinking worst case scenario that if all 4 or 5 cars are stolen, and that's your max capacity, then we want to make sure we have coverage for all the vehicles that you're storing. So really the pricing varies based on how many cars you're working on at one time and what kind of cars you're working on at one time. Now, this can also go for motorcycles. This can also go for boats. It could go for different autos or different types of vehicles. However, typically we're going to be working with cars here, but we do motorcycles and other things. So, but it's the same premise. So you want to make sure that this coverage is in place, and you want to make sure it's an adequate coverage. You want to make sure you're being honest with how many cars you're working on and what the pricing is of these vehicles that you are working on. Because some of these, if you get custom vehicles in there, or if you get these high-end luxury cars, you could be looking at some serious damage if these cars get stolen. So to keep this brief, GarageKeepers is very important to have as a shop because it's there to cover your clients' vehicles for theft, vandalism, any damage done to the car in your care, custody, or control. So you want to make sure this coverage is added because you want to make sure you're covering your clients in the best way possible. So yes, it may add a little bit of premium to your coverages, but this is an important coverage to have. I am going to post a video more on what's the differences between garage liability and GarageKeepers. However, this video was more just diving into GarageKeepers and what it is. There's not a whole lot to it other than knowing it's covering your customers' vehicles when they're in your care, custody, or control. So thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel and like this video. It really helps us get our name out there. Again, we are the Auto Garage Insurance Specialist, here to help all types of garages with all their insurance needs. And we are here to help grow your business and protect it at the same time. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next one.